to see the endless garden awaiting me. Red with a rose of conviction, and red with a rose of hate. It's red with a rose of conquest. Like snow they fall, petals plucked and strewn. Yet from the seeds grow this one new blood trickling down from my fingers, and blood trickling down from mine eyes. It's blood trickling down to Heidelberg until I am stabbed, and the war still wageth on. The storm still rageth on. The bold blindly march on. Their lives lost in a song. High I stand, gazing down to see the endless garden awaiting.
All right, pausing that. Back in. Force it there again. And there we go. There is now. And is there a Francis? This. Got a message. Discord. Ink. Ah, he can't type in chat. Okay. He's here though. Also say I have to mute Discord. There we go. All right. Let's get started. And Alphino says, I must ask that you not breathe a word of this to any of the others at the Rising Stones, especially Flamin. I will brief Tataru on what we have learned, as well as Oriange. He may have insight into what the word told us. As for you, Magnomus, after all you have done, I would say you have earned a rest. Ah, but speaking of well-earned rewards, I received a missive from Sir Aymeric while you were away. It would seem he is planning a ceremony of some sort, and would like you to attend. He did not divulge the details, preferring instead to explain in person. Mayhap you should pay him a visit. Back to Foundation. Alright, here we go. Let's go talk to Aymeric. Ah, Master Darkblade, Lord Commander left instructions that you are to be shown inside. Yep.
A pleasure to see you again, my friend. I take it you received our invitation. Good, good. You of all people should be present. When the true brothers of the faith seized control of the vault, I feared the worst. Yet in adversity were we blessed with the promise of peace between man and dragon through Vidofnir's timely rescue of an innocent child. Timely, I say, though miraculous or providential might better describe the event. The gods themselves could not have devised a more fitting symbol of hope. Needless to say, we could scarce let such an opportunity pass us by. Which is why I set about making formal arrangements for a peace conference between our peoples. You and yours have done more to bring us together than any, and it is only right that you attend. But I confess that is not the only reason I would be glad to have you there. Given Nidhogg's implacable opposition to the peace, it is possible that he and his followers may attempt to disrupt proceedings, in which event your presence would be a comfort to all in attendance.
Ah, so I'm on guard duty then, is what you're saying.
Pray understand, I have no wish to invite the worm's ire. But if our fractured nation is to heal, if we are to move forward as a people united, then we must do whatever is necessary to bring about lasting change. Tis nothing. Tis nothing. Lucia cautioned me against giving vent to my passions, lest my wounds reopen. It has not been easy reaching out to our opponents in Ishgard, many of whom sympathized with the actions of the true brothers. But in so doing, we have limited the influence of the zealots. The people are ready, my friend. This conference must go ahead. I knew you would understand. The conference will take place on the border of Ishgardian and Dravanian territory in Falcon's Nest. Lucia is there, seeing to the final preparations, even as we speak. Pray join her at your earliest convenience. 'Twould not do for the guest of honor to arrive late, after all. Oh, and one more thing. A drink. We should make time for one. Once the conference is concluded, I mean. By my reckoning, 'tis long overdue.
Oh great, who's gonna get poisoned at this one? The Falcon's Nest. The Lord Commander said you would come, Magnanimous. As you can see, preparations for the conference are proceeding apace. Mark well the curtain above. It conceals a relief that will be unveiled during the conference. The Mason's Labor Day and Night to see what that said. To see it finished on schedule. Sir Aymeric wanted a symbol which would endure long after this conference is concluded. I think he will be pleased with this result. It was not my war, but I made it mine. And to see it draw closer to a resolution fills me with a strange hope. His faith is infectious, is it not? His certainty that we can be better than we are. Forgive me, I am rambling. You must be tired from your journey. Go rest, I will not keep you. If you would rather not take a rest, then why not take a walk around Falcon's Nest? Make your presence known to the people and so forth. In addition to those who have come far and wide to attend this ceremony, you may meet Lords Artorial and Amandalane, who have graciously volunteered their services. They should be glad to see you now. If you would excuse me, I must needs return to my duties. Do you know when everything's set to begin? Wasn't sure how many might come, so I thought it best to come early and find a spot with a great view. When I heard Sir Aymeric was planning to make a speech, I knew I couldn't miss it. I mean, the man risked his own neck to rescue those hostages. How often do we get heroes like that in this day and age? And he's more than a fighter, too. He's a thinker, he is. He's got plans to better our lives, to change things, and he'll do it by the Fury. Me and my friends and family, we all believe he can do it. Bloody exciting, isn't it? Not just peace with the dragons, but with all them heretics besides. Don't misunderstand, we've all got a healthy fear of being bathed in dragon fire, and that being said, the heretics did far more to hinder our efforts here in the past, so hearing that we're close to a reconciliation comes as a great relief. Talk with Redwald. I am glad to see that the rumors were true. Well met, Master Darkblade. Fear not. I have no intention of begging your aid with this or that. Everything appears to be in order. My only lingering concern is that one of the convictors might not have been informed of our plans. As I recall, Vidofnir may pass directly over their encampment. Last thing we need is a glory-seeking nobleman to attempting to slay a Dravanian ambassador to a peace conference. speak with the cool brother. How much has changed since we fought alongside each other in the vault? If you had not told me that we would be soon hosting a peace conference, I would... If you had told me that we would be soon hosting a peace conference, I would have thought you a naive fool. Yet here we are, preparing to make that fantasy a reality. Ha! And here I am laboring to make it so. Lord Artoriel, if I may. Certainly, First Commander. How may I be of service? Some of the convictors are refusing to stand down. The majority were willing to do so, but a small party have instead pledged to engage any Dravanians bound for Falcon's Nest. Fury, take me! They would defy Sir Amaric's commands if they dare attack Vidofnir. It will not come to that, but see to it that it does not. We must needs hasten to their encampment. They would be far more reluctant to oppose us were a Lord of House Fortam present. I understand completely. Let us depart at once. But ere we do, I must ask, would you look after Emmanuel while I'm away? As you know, he has ever been an impulsive, changeable child, but recently, he seems to have been suffering from a bout of melancholy. I thought to lift his spirits by having him assist in guard duty, a simple but honorable charge, unlikely to expose him to danger given the presence of so many other knights. Alas, he has taken no interest. I fear he may abandon his post in my absence. All I ask is that you keep an eye on him until I return, exhausting though that may be. Thank you, my friend. I promise we will not be long. Great, now I gotta deal with the twerp brother, because the cool brother's leaving. I'm rather busy at the moment, old boy, guarding this tavern, as it were. Oh, I see now. Artoriel thought I might be derelict in my duties, eh? The nerve of my brother to question my dedication. But since you are here, mayhap I could put you to proper use. The wasteland beyond the walls must be kept safe for travelers, yet I have been forbidden from leaving Falcon's Nest. It wouldn't do for our esteemed guests to be devoured by wolves, oh no. Yet that is precisely what will happen if we do not cull the roaming packs. Your map, if I may, right there. Those are the points our scouts marked for patrol. I'll leave you to it. Old boy, come, Honorat. I must return to my rounds. Oh dear, do be careful, my lord. There goes. Forward and back. It's hunting season. Yes, a guest appearance from Phoenix. Alright, more wolves. Magnanimous Darkblade, Wolf's Bane. It pleases me to inform you that I have completed my rounds and all is well in Falcon's Nest. Oh, and there was a grizzled fellow looking for you. You know, the one who made that arsonist confess. Clever, that. Thancred, was it? He was asking after you. Anyway, once I noticed the garish weapons he was sporting, I deemed it a waste to leave him be. I dispatched him to an area I neglected to mark on your map. Well, yes, this one. If you hurry, he might still be there. Exponential. Fancy meeting you here, Magnanimous. Was fortunate that I came when I did. These two would not have fared well against the wolves on their own. The young lord wasted no time in taking advantage of you, did he? And me, I suppose. Let us return to Falcon's Nest, then, and see what other thrilling tasks he may have for us. Screw it, I'm just teleporting. And there they are, a pair of gallant heroes if I ever saw them, comrades in arms, reunited at last. By your selfless sacrifice, have you guaranteed the safety of our many guests. On behalf of Ishgard, I thank you both. And with that, there is not left to do but enjoy our well-earned respite. I'll take the max potion. Anyway. Oh, and this should of course go without saying, but let's keep those last few favors between us. Yes, Artoriel wouldn't understand. Right then, the first floor of those barracks has been converted into a tavern for the duration of the conference. Why don't you go and have something to eat? For once, a suggestion with which I agree. Go on ahead, Magnanimous. I will join you anon.
Welcome, welcome. Find yourself an empty seat and I'll be with you in a moment. Cold out, isn't it? Here, a mug on the house. Let's get some colour back in them cheeks. Freed food will be a bit longer than usual. We've got a lot of hungry folk to feed, what with the conference and all. Oh, so many people with cause to celebrate. To think there could be peace in our time, after all them years of fighting. When I heard about the conference, I knew I had to come. I knew I had to be here, to do my bit. My husband, he died fighting the dragons, you see. And here we are, about to break bread with him.
Oh, great, I was the one poisoned.
You were right, my lord. You look tired. Reckon you could do with a good long rest? after all you've done, I'd say you're dead. Sleep now. Sleep. Sleep and leave us to our affairs. This was never your fight.
My son. They told me he walks in Halone's halls. Him and the rest of his unit.
They told me the same.
I expect they think it's comforting. Every time I come, I cry. I cannot bear to remember, but to forget would be 1,000 times worse. Yet that is what they would have us do. Accept this truth for the sake of peace. Bury the past and look to the future. But he was my future. My flesh and blood. My heart.
Is this it? We're the only ones with the courage to oppose this madness? Cowards, a lot of them.
They think only of the prize, of the peace Sir Emmerich promises them. They know in their hearts it's a lie, but they go along with it anyway, desperate fools. But not I. Not I! I see the worm that killed my brother in my dreams every night, and I will not rest until he lies broken at my feet. Him and every last one of his accursed kin.
All this nonsense about Kings of Eld, as if I care what they did or didn't do. Makes no difference to me and mine. Have the dragons sued for peace in 1,000 years? Are they bollocks? It's a bloody ruse is what it is, and Sir Emmerich and the rest of them bloody fallen for it.
But what can we do? They believe, and naught we can say will ever change their minds. Whether we like it or not, man and dragon will come together at Falcon's Nest, and all will be forgiven. Forgiven and forgotten.
No. I will not let that happen. They will remember the true face of the enemy. I will show it to them. And we will rise up against them once more.
Yeah, perpetuate the war so more people can lose their husbands and sons. Be great.
Hey! Hey! This is no time for napping.
Hey, you're finally awake.
Do you have your wits about you? Good. Come with me. We have a crisis on our hands.
Do a flip.
Hear me, brothers and sisters. Do not be fooled by the honeyed words of the Dravarnians. The peace they promise is but a prelude to slaughter. Remember your husbands and wives never returned from war. Your children torn apart by fang and claw. All your loved ones shown no mercy. Does not your heart cry out for vengeance? Your blood boil at the injustice? Remember the face of your enemy, brothers and sisters. Remember it, and strike back!
You there! Don't just stand around gawping! Do something, man! Stop her!
Yes, my lord.
See here the true nature of the
If you're gonna do that, you might
Highborn.
as well have shot her in the throat so
Lies
she
and
couldn't keep this shit up.
deception may lead us to our doom, and dare we raise our voices in dissent? Death is our reward. This is the choice they have given us, brothers and sisters. Death by dragon's fang, or death by nobleman's command. Death to all we hold dear. I spit on your choices, noblemen! You will take no more from me! No more! No more!
Lane.
What have you done?
I only did as you ordered, my lord.
I gave no such order. I did not. I never meant for anyone to...
Francis was right. The kid brother is trouble. I dare say that could have been played out of that could not have played out any worse, given that the First Commander and Lord Artoriel are not here to take control of the situation. I spoke with a messenger who said they would be returning shortly. Until they do, naught will be done. Lord Amanalaine has retreated to the barracks and is refusing to speak to anyone. Therefore, it falls to us to ensure that the order has been fully restored. Come, let us walk the streets and speak with the people. My wife and I fell while fleeing with the others at first. The chirurgeons tended to our bruises afterwards. Those mad fools may have ruined everything, and for what? They were wrong to resort to violence, but when I heard her speak, her words were as a dagger in my heart. Who are we to decide that enough is enough? That their calls for justice can never be answered? Will this be the end of it, or will there be others like them and the true brothers? I do not want to bear steel against my kinsmen ever again, but I do not know if I even can. I heard the rumors that the young lord was a drunken fool. What imbecile thought it would be a good idea to let him have the run of Falcon's Nest? Well, I say him and Sir Aymeric can take their bloody change and shove it up their arses. I'll not be taken in by that rot again. Well, what say you? So the violence is past, but the people are far from recovered. That is to be expected. For the moment, it appears that no innocents were harmed by the gods. The blame for all the casualties can be placed squarely upon the protesters. Nevertheless, the people will not soon forget the image of a young lordling ordering the public execution of an unarmed protester, one whose words resonated with the hearts of many. After all, who among us has not lost loved ones? Lord Artoriel and the first commander should have returned by now. At the tavern, then. Their first order of business will be to speak with Lord O'Manalaine, and I somehow doubt that he has moved an ilm since last we saw him. My apologies, Magnarmus. I bear full responsibility for this debacle. There'll be time for that later. I, for one, am more concerned about picking up the pieces. What do we do now? According to initial reports, the protest was orchestrated by the young woman whom Lord Manalaine ordered shot. She and her conspirators infiltrated Falcon's Nest, posing as servants and guests. Several were taken alive, others resisted and were struck down. Still others took their own lives. Our forces suffered casualties as well, but by the grace of the Fury, no civilians were seriously injured. Still more remarkably, the ringleader yet lives, for the time being at least. The chirurgeons are doing what they can for her, but she may not live through the night. Given their impeccable timing, it's like the convictors who drew us away from the hamlet were in league with the protesters. Accordingly, we have detained them for questioning. I'll be sworn that these villains spent as much effort plotting the failure of this peace conference as we did its success. Well, if the mood of the hamlet is any indication, theirs have been more fruitful labors. It would wake in the wake of the protest, the people seem disillusioned. You spoke with them then, I see. Sir Aymeric placed his trust in me. It will be difficult to explain what has happened here. Remember how far we've come, Prince Commander. The people's faith may be shaken, but we convinced them before, and we will do so again. If we can't find a means to remind them, to show them once more the promises that change holds for all, then this tragedy too shall pass into the past. We must pray that you are right. Nevertheless, for the time being, I have no choice but to suspend the peace conference, pending Sir Aymeric's final decision. Under the circumstances, I cannot leave Falcon's Nest. Magnarmus, will you deliver my report to the Lord Commander in my stead? Get up, Manalaine. You're going with him. Go on without me. I was not asking. You will answer for your actions in person, is that clear? Yes, my lord. Come on, Arat. Your manservant is not here. In fact, I have not seen him for some time. Honorat! Honorat! I could have sworn he was... Found him.
Ottawa! No, no! What have they done to you? Ottawa! Ottawa!
Is that you, my lord? You seem rather flustered.
Because of you, you imbecile! What in the seven hells happened to you?
My apologies. Some few of the guests expressed a wish to leave, and I implored them to stay. It would seem they took issue with my request.
Oh, gods forgive me. If I had only been more careful with my words.
Do not blame yourself, my lord. I know that you and your brother have Ishgard's best interests at heart. That poor woman. She lives in the past, clinging to the memories of the lost. But the future holds so much promise, so much joy. And you know that better than any.
Honorra took a beating to the face.
Honorra?
Calm yourself. The boy will live. But it's imperative we get him inside and into the care of a Kairoujan without delay.
Oh, we were so close! Why does it all have to fall to pieces? Don't they want to live in peace? Don't they want to be happy? We all want the same thing! And still it falls to pieces! Tell me, what was I supposed to do? Someone, anyone, tell me, what was I supposed to do?
Stop looking to others. You make your choice and you live with the consequences.
And what would you know about consequences? You who always know just what to say and just what to do. Your every deed is greeted with a round of applause.
You know nothing about me. I have fought tooth and nail for the people I hold dear. Done everything in my power to save them. And I have failed. Learn to live with it. I have.
I think he's still a little upset over Zelda. Well, you made your choice, now live with the consequences. Out of it. Let's go next area and talk to Thancred. I may have overreacted, but it needed to be done. He was becoming hysterical. I understand the desire to look for reasons, for excuses to convince yourself you had no choice. But the past is the past, and there is naught to be gained from reliving your mistakes. I know this, but he... I have no desire to wait for the Lordling to emerge from his puddle of self-pity. We have important matters to attend in Nishgard. Word of the demonstration and its resolution outstripped you, Magnanimous. Every man, woman, and child of Ishgard has heard the tale. 'Tis rumored that my youngest's lack of judgment was to blame. Of course, such stories are prone to exaggeration. What exactly came to pass? I see, so that is the truth of it. Regardless of his intent, the result is undeniable. He has furthered the cause of these misguided few who cannot let go of the past. In an instant, the delicate peace we were poised to forge is once more beyond us. To dwell so deeply on the war and vengeance it begets, only for that too has been to be taken away. Is it any wonder that they were left bereft? For what was this sacrifice? Have we not to show for our suffering? I thought a peace a sufficient salve, but mayhap I was mistaken. We are warriors, Lord Edmund, and ours is a nation built on centuries of warfare. Right or wrong, this is who we are, and we deny it at our peril. To hold on to the past without getting beholden to it, aye, we must needs find a way to honor the sacrifice of our forefathers without glorifying in their excess. A difficult path, to be sure. We dare not deny the scars which mar our nation's soul, lest we spur other disillusioned souls to retrace them. But as you say, we dare not revel in the past glories either, for they are tainted all. A clear, unambiguous enemy, and an undeniably righteous cause. 'Tis a bitter reflection, but lies though they were, they did long serve to unite us. No truth will ever serve as well, I fear, yet we are not without option. At our last meeting, a proposal was tabled by the other members of the Eorzean Alliance for a joint military exercises to strengthen the ties between our nations and test our readiness to meet with a common threat. I had thought to delay these exercises until after the peace conference, but mayhap a grand melee would be just the thing to lift our beleaguered spirits. Better still, an occasion for the Temple Knights and watch take to the field as allies. A unified Ishgardian force will fill men and women from all walks of life, which would stand against a coalition of the allied nations' finest. Hosted by Ishgard in the shadow of the Gates of Judgment, a victory under such circumstances would serve as a reaffirmation, nay, a declaration to all and sundry that we are strong and united as ever. Such a victory would do much to fan the flames of patriotism, it is true. But if we should be defeated, though, even to hold our own against the cream of three nations might be presented as a triumph. Very well, you may count on my support, and for what little is worth, however, I have a request. I would have my son Amanalain take part in the grand melee. By his deeds, he has brought shame upon Ishgard, and so by his deeds I would have him bring our nation honor. As you wish, my lord. If that is his desire, then it shall be so. Now then, we have no time to lose, Magnanimous. Would you be so kind as to deliver my instructions to Lucia? I shall write the Alliance leaders at once and begin making arrangements for the grand melee. Should you chance to see my son, pray inform him of his duty. If he has not already returned, he will soon enough. Making every effort to avoid me. That is their solution, a grand melee to unite the people. And what part would they have you play in this affair, I wonder? To whom have they taken into their confidence, upon whom they have come so heavily to rely? And will you oblige them? When the proposition is made, will you stand for Ishgard once more? Let's see. We've come this far, have we not? Well, when you put it like that, I suppose it would be a shame not to see it through to the bitter end. So for this grand melee of his, Sir Emmerich wishes to field a force comprising of both his Temple Knights and Hilda's Watch, yes? I can only imagine what she will have to say about that. In fact, curiosity compels me to go see for myself. Well met, Magnarmus. Have you spoken with Sir Emmerich? Yeah, we're gonna do a grand melee between us and the other nations. I was aware of the Alliance's request, so Sir Emmerich would turn these exercises into a spectacle for the masses. It is not that I doubt the efficacy of such a plan. Indeed, I know its effectiveness only too well, having witnessed it firsthand. Nevertheless, he has not given me reason to doubt his intentions, and these are desperate times indeed. I will select knights for the event forthwith. As for the watch... Did he know? How considerate of Master Thancred to seek out our young watch commander of his own volition. Alas, he acted prematurely. Pray deliver this list of watch candidates to Hilda. I would have her best men, not her most dispensable. Thancred's been telling me all about Sir Emmerich's grand soiree. Seems we're expected to join in. It's nice of him to invite us and all, but I hope he knows what he's doing, because we ain't dressed to dance with professional bleeding soldiers. Well, it seems the first commander's gone and hand-picked her guests. Can't say I disagree with her choices, though. She's got a good eye. Will you be fighting too? Reckon it'd inspire the lads if you were. Might take their minds off getting their hides tanned and all. Think about it, eh? I hate to ask, but you haven't seen our favorite lordling, have you? I thought not. On the assumption that he is not to be found in his father's loving embrace, I suggest we split up, look for him. I will search foundation and you the pillars. Carried Honorat to the manor. Our best chirurgeons are tending to him as we speak. He has yet to wake, but surely he will. So father has volunteered me for this grand melee of theirs. My beloved family, always making my decisions for me. No, it's not like that. It's just, oh, you wouldn't understand. How could you? You are free to be the man you want to be, whereas I am a son of House Fortam, don't you see? My future was determined before I was born. What I could and could not do. Right or wrong, that was the way of it. Until the old order began to crumble. Now we wander amidst the rubble, searching for a purpose, for a place. All around me, brave men and women have rise to the occasion. With faith and conviction, they dedicate themselves to their causes, but not I. I was terrified of making the wrong choice, which is why I let better men make them for me. Do this, do that, take this duty, guard this conference. I suppose I had convinced myself I was above it, until your friend showed me otherwise. When I saw Honora, I wanted to scream. I wanted someone to blame, but in the end, there was only me. Only me. You see, I cannot meekly bow my head and accept Father's command. Such cowardice is what brought me to this point. I will go to Sir Emeric, and I will make my own decision.
Lord Commander, if I may, I wish to speak with you before the Grand Melee.
Proceed.
How do you do it, my lord? How do you lead with such certainty, when so many of our countrymen will not hear of peace with the Dravanians? Some of them hate you almost as much as the dragons themselves. They decry you as a patricide in the streets. They even tried to kill you, for God's sakes. Yet still you march on, undaunted, where no archbishop dared to tread. What is your secret? Where do you find the strength?
For centuries, our nation has been punished for the sins of our forefathers. If our punishment is to end, I believe we must right the wrongs of antiquity and move forward as a nation united. Needless to say, my father did not share this opinion. He did not believe the people strong enough to bring about their own deliverance, trusting only in himself. Tyranny seemed to him the only solution. But I have faith in the people, Lord Amanalain. I have faith that they will weather this storm and overcome every trial we set before them. Many have fought and died to see this blight upon our nation's history cleansed, and I would not let their sacrifices be in vain. Though we invite reprisals, the risk is worth the reward.
I want to believe. I do. Lord Commander, through my careless orders, a pall has been cast over these proceedings, and I beg the opportunity to make amends. I, Amanalain de Forton, do hereby request leave to take part in the Grand Melee.
Who am I to deny such a heartfelt plea? We would be honored to have you join the fray, my lord.
You'll take charge of the Ishgardian forces.
For all my other responsibilities, I am still Lord Commander of the Temple Knights, and I would not soon yield this duty to another.
The esteemed Sir Emeric leading the Temple Knights and the Watch into battle along with my youngest. I could wish for no more.
Then you wish for too little, my lord. There is another who might yet join the fray. An indispensable ally to whom we owe much and more. An adventurer beholden to none, who nevertheless chose to champion our cause, who has shared in our suffering and in our glory. A warrior without equal, who I am privileged to call a friend. There is no one I would rather have fighting by my side. I ask this in full knowledge of your obligations, and will not think less of you should you refuse. But if your conscience will allow it, might you oblige me, my friend, one more time?
Yeah, sign me up.
Together we shall give the people a spectacle for the ages, a celebration to mark the dawning of a new era.
Gods help me, I think it might be love. I dare say it might be cheating too. Your mere presence is enough to turn the tide of most battles. And did you see the way his eyes lit up when you nodded? It was a look of boundless relief and joy. One would think a politician more practiced at concealing his emotion. Still, his honesty does him credit. For a moment, I was fair inspired to pledge myself to the cause, but that would be improper. This is their fight and yours, but not mine. Sir Emmerich informs me that the Alliance leaders have agreed to his proposal. The Grand Melee will be held here, in the shadow of the Gates of Judgment, and inside of the capital. An announcement has been made, and Allied forces are currently en route. The eyes of Ishgard are upon us, Magnarmus. We must not fall. A rare opportunity to see you pit yourself against the Allied forces, outside of Cartano, perhaps. I would not miss this for the world. There he is, I say. When you didn't appear, I began to question. Nothing, never mind. Ahem. To think that we are mere moments away from facing the cream of Eorzea's soldiery in battle. That I am mere... what if? But what if? What am I saying? I have to stop imagining the worst, and I must think of the victory, of the glory, of the stories I will tell Honorah when he awakes. By the Fury, how could I forget? Father bid me present this to you. I know it's sudden, but we believe the men should find it inspiring if you bore the colors of House Fortam into battle. Pray do us this honor. Alright.
Let all here present heed well the rules of engagement.
Alright, I'm not reading the directions out loud. Aim for the guy that gets targeted by the thing. Pretty simple. And don't let ours die.
For the honor and the glory of Ishgard.
Accidentally cut him off there. Oops.
is ready then. Very well. Brave men and women of the Eorzean Alliance, let the grand melee begin!
Allow me to throw the first punch.
Praise God!
Is that all you've got?
Over here. Oh, this one's on Pippin. Miss Guardian, show us your medal. So far, I'm beating their asses. Bruce within our grasp.
Right there!
Oh, it's on me now. Cyclops, Cyclops, everyone be on your guard. All forces, fall back. Yes, it did. Continue the melee. I will deal with him. Daft Sod, you heard the man. Back to it. All forces, form a line on Magnormus, now! Alright, Raban. Looks like it's just you and me. Sergeant, I will not lie. I was hoping it would come to this. So then, shall we dance? Damn it all. Back over here. There we go. Got him half dead. Well, that barely hurt. I did it. All right. Take your victory. You've earned it. I took my victory. Pretty impressive, though, lighting the snow on fire, Raban.
Did he win? Then we...
Right.
Victory is ours! Ishgard! Ishgard! Well fought, my friend. You truly are the warrior of warriors.
Thank the Fury you were on our side.
Oh, my lungs are burning, and I can barely stand. I didn't think I could do it, but then I did. We did. We faced the Alliance's best, and together, with one heart, with one purpose, we prevailed. After 1,000 years of hardship, of strife and bloodshed, we are strong enough to rise to any challenge, be it on the battlefield or beyond. The future holds so much promise, so much joy. We need only show them the way.
Mission accomplished.
A truly magnificent display, Sir Knight. While doubtless less than pleased, I am quite sure the Grand Companies are honored to have been bested by such valiant warriors.
He walks like Cotton Hill.
The honor was ours, Your Grace.
I am pleased to see that Ishgard's proud martial tradition is being upheld. When the time comes, I trust you will fight alongside your brothers and sisters in the Eorzean Alliance with the same fervor you displayed in opposing them.
Yeah, Cotton Hill has no
I
knees.
note that our friend elected to take the field in Ishgardian colors.
At my behest, Your Grace. If we have given offense, the blame lies with me.
Fear not, Sir Knight. It was a surprise, nothing more. And any hint of ill feeling was thoroughly dispelled by the spectacle of our mutual friend's duel with General Raubarn. On the subject of surprises, I could not help but marvel at the passion and unity of purpose displayed by your countrymen, given the troubling reports we have received of late.
I shall take that as a compliment, Your Grace. The events to which you allude are the price of change. The end of the Dragonsong War marks the beginning of a new era for our nation, and for the people, high and lowborn alike, who will lead her into the future.
Ah, yes. The people.
Right at about like 8:25.
Change is indeed
For
a
35
perilous
minutes, so
thing
it's ready at 9.
For we who seek it, and they who fear it. I shall pray for Ishgard, and for you.
Well, that made for a refreshing change. Congratulations on your victory, by the way. Ishgardians certainly seem happy with themselves. I, for my part, am merely glad you did not strain anything in the process of single-handedly winning the battle for them. Tis but a scratch, I assure you, and I will not suffer you to worry over me. Not when we have a dozen far more important concerns. Make that 2 dozen. Still, as Y'shtola never tires of telling me, we can but face them head-on one at a time. One day at a time. As Minfilia would have done.
It's but a flesh wound. You have no arms. Yes, I have. Okay. Balls, balls. I had forgotten what it was like to feel so alive. Not since leaving the Blood Sands have I had the privilege, not since the Bull of Alamigo hung up his swords. Back then, the outcome might have been different, but I do not begrudge you your victory. I know how far you've come and how much you have endured. Our fight only confirmed it. We shall have to do this again one day, when time allows. I shall look forward to it. Now go. Go to the Ishgardians and celebrate your victory. You have earned it. Come, Pippin. Her Grace is expecting us. Lead on, Father. Ralban's arm is off. Said your goodbyes. In all the years I have known Ralban, I cannot recall ever seeing him look so happy in defeat. Well, everything seems to be falling into place, does it not? The Ishgardians have claimed their symbolic victory, and the Eorzean alliance has been strengthened in the process. Be proud, Magnarmus. You made this happen. Give me the money. And the victory emote. What's Amaric have to say? We have done it. Nay, you have done it. You have brought us the victory we so desperately needed. There is naught left but to return to the capital. Come, let us see what reception awaits us.
My lord!
Au revoir, my boy. Shouldn't you be in bed?
Thank you for your concern, my lord. But I have largely recovered from my ordeal, and I have naught but several scars to show for it, which I have been told some women may find appealing.
I see. And to think I was worried sick over you.
I'm not sure I understand, my lord.
Well, let's put that theory to the proof, shall we?
My lord?
'Twould seem that a great many things have occurred in my absence. I thought I might begin to make amends by welcoming you in person.
Yep. Those
the
two
messengers
are
spared not their chocobos to bring us word of your victory in the grand melee. I cannot well describe our elation when we heard the news. It called to mind the day we rejoined the Eorzean alliance, and I glimpsed hope rekindled in the eyes of the people.
The Fury herself ushers us into a new era. Sir Emeric, the time is now.
Aye, that it is. Reconvene the conference and summon Vidofnir to Falcon's Nest. We will make peace with Hraesvelga's brood and hasten this bloody war to its end.
Yes, Lord Commander.
I will send word to Artoirel and bid him resume preparations. Emanelaine, you will place yourself at your brother's disposal. He will be glad of your assistance.
No stopping it now, is there? We should inform Stola and the others.
My dear friend, I doubt I will ever be able to thank you enough. But when the conference is successfully concluded, I damn well mean to try.
They say you dueled General Bon within a ring of flames. I did not think the man so ostentatious. Would that I could have seen it. After we parted ways in Montoya's cave, I returned here to speak to Tataru. He agreed to tell the others only that our search for Minfilia had reached an impasse. I subsequently learned that you had left for Falcon's Nest, but I thought it best to keep to myself for a time. I am wont to rely on you overmuch when we are together, and I needed to think, to reflect. I still do. I suspect matters here seem to be coming to a head. In short, there are some things I feel I must say, but nothing so urgent that it cannot wait until after the conference. So let us make for Falcon's Nest and see if Lord Artoriel has need of our assistance. Well met, Master Darkblade, and thank you for looking after my brother. They say he fought bravely, that he did not dishonor his house, but you, my lord, to you we owe everything. As you can see, we have made every effort to strike while the iron is hot. We made our intentions known, and that all would be welcome to attend. And so they came. By the grace of the Fury, they came. The ceremony will not be a lengthy affair, but there is still much to be done. I would speak with you more, but I must see to my duties. As for you and Master Alphino, you will do naught but enjoy yourselves. Is that clear? If any deg bear your assistance again, I will have words. Well, there you have it. We have been forbidden from meddling. Shall we wait, or have you other matters to attend before the ceremony begins? Excellent. I only hope that Thancred and the others will not be late. Epochal events do not come around very often.
The appointed hour approaches.
Aye.
She begged leave to watch the proceedings. I saw no reason not to grant it.
Should I choose to deviate from my prepared remarks, I ask that you trust in my judgment.
Have I ever done otherwise?
How long it hath been since our peoples met thus, children of Thordan, even by our reckoning.
Vidofnir, daughter of Hraesvelga, we give thanks for your visit, and bid you welcome to Falcon's Nest.
Our sire bade us hearken unto the whispers of our hearts. They spoke to us of a paradise lost, of bonds of brotherhood which they yearn to see restored.
Ours too yearn for such a restoration. And they have guided us here this day, that they might yearn no longer.
Brothers and sisters, ye who stand as witness, hearken to me. Since the days of Eld, when the bonds betwixt man and dragon were sundered by our hand, our peoples have known only war. Bloodshed without end, losses beyond counting, and still we fought. And still we fought. Some wounds do not heal. The dead cannot be returned to us. But we, the living, can yet choose another course. Here and now, we can lay down this burden, this hatred, this vengeance. Our forebears fought not so that we could die, but that we might live. So let us honor their sacrifice and spare our children this death sentence. Let us gift them a new legacy. Life.
Betwixt our peoples yawneth a divide deeper than the deepest abyss, wider than the widest sea. Generations will live and die ere this divide is bridged. Knowing this, doth thy heart yet yearn for peace, son of Thordan?
Look now on the legacy we would leave to our children. A dream of peace, inscribed in stone for generations to come.
Father and his beloved, as they were so long ago, happy and at peace. The dream they shared shall be ours once more.
Child of Dravania, art thou grown so forgetful that thou wouldst forsake kith and kin and consort with the spawn of Thordan? That thou wouldst dare contemplate peace! Hearken unto me, all of you! The final chorus is nigh, and all will be held to account. All will bathe in the flames of retribution. Till the coming of that day, look you on your sins and despair, for none shall escape my wrath. None shall escape my revenge!
7 hells. Damn you, Nidhogg. Hells, take that worm! While he lives, we'll never know peace.
Aye! There'll be no end to this war till Nidhogg is dead and gone!
So let's kill the bastard and be done with it. Death to Nidhogg! Death to Nidhogg! Death to Nidhogg!
Death to Nidhogg! Death to Nidhogg! Death to Nidhogg! Death to Nidhogg! Death to Nidhogg!
Death to Nidhogg!
I am yelling loud noises. Feather hat boys, indeed. There they go, the last of the guests. Having come hither with hope in their hearts, they depart with hatred and bloodlust. Until the moment I saw him strike, I held some small hope that what you and I had seen in Az's law was an illusion, perhaps. But he acted without hesitation, as did Sir Emmerich. For a mercy, Vidofnir's wound was not mortal, or so Lucia tells me. The dragon was spirited away to Agnes' shrine to receive care from her brethren. We can but hope her recovery is swift. But such was surely Nidhogg's intent, to deliver a proclamation not only to the children of Thornton, but to his kindred. War is coming, and ye who do not stand with us, stand apart. She was an example, a message to her brood, another instrument of his vengeance, like Estinian. When I said I wished to speak with you after the conference, I confess that I envisaged rather happier circumstances. If anything, however, this latest tragedy makes me need more pressing. There are things I must say. Not to the Warrior of Light or even my fellow Scion, but to you, Magnarmus, my friend. But not here, no. Ah, but of course, the intercessory in Camp Dragonhead. It's still open to us. Let us go there. Greetings, sir. Shall I show you inside? Yes.
Forgive me. That took longer than expected. You seem puzzled. Oh, these. I thought something warming might not go amiss.
There we go.
It was not all that long ago that we sat here, you and I. In our very own falling snows, as Lord Horshvon called it. I still struggle to believe he is gone. And Azelle too. I had such hopes for her. Master Matoya asked me what it was all for. Why we fight. And why we die. Were I still commander of the Braves, I would doubtless have replied, for the future of Eorzea. But I'm not that man. Not anymore. I needed a new answer. One that I could live with. And when I saw Estinian at the ceremony, I knew at last what it was. I do not want to be a man who sacrifices his friends and family for a cause. I want to fight for Estinian, and I want to save him. When Nidhogg leads the Horde into battle, Ser Emeric and his forces will do what they believe must be done. That is their choice to make. Yet even if Ser Emeric is willing to forsake Estinian, I am not. We must fight for him, for he is our friend and ally. We may struggle, we may fail, but we must try.
To aid those in need.
Lord Orshafon would be proud. I knew you would understand. Together, we will surely find a way.
Thank you, Magnomus. It is unfair of me to burden myself in this manner. Time after time, I am glad that you permit me nonetheless. You are my true friend and ally. Though not all of our fellow Scions would support our stance on Estinian, I have faith that we will win them over in due course. Such is the infectious power of hope. Right. That it is quite solemn introspection for one day. I think we would both benefit from some time in the company of Tataru. She stays for us at Forton Manor. Let us not keep her waiting any longer. Yet again, we walk an all too familiar path. I am reminded of when we first came to this manor. Lost and uncertain, we were granted a succor in our hour of need. We were saved, and now it's our turn to return the favor. Hear, hear. Let no one say that the Scions do not repay their debts. After all, what kind of people would we be if we forsook our friends? If we stopped looking for Ida and Papalimo, or if we gave up hope on bringing Minfelia back? Though she knew it would cost her dearly, Minfilia reached out to us to deliver a message. She believed it was imperative that we understand the true nature of this star, of the rift between Zodiark and Hydaelyn, and of the Ascians' aspirations. But for all that has been revealed, I cannot take the suspicion that there is much we have yet to learn. In any event, I think it time we step back from the fray and carefully consider our next course of action. It would not be easy to turn this tragedy to triumph, but we will find a way. We will. We will.
Of all the ways for it to end. Even before his transformation, I could feel the worm's hatred swirling about Estinian. The terrible, all-consuming rage. Enough to fuel a 1,000-year quest for vengeance. It was all I could do not to run away screaming. But Ishgardians, nay, all Eorzeans, are made of sterner stuff. They face danger and death on a daily basis, and understand what it takes to win a war.
Think not too deeply on Master Matoya's words. Her intent was but to steal our resolve. That, and to remind us to look beyond these passing conflicts to trials greater still, to the truth which hides at the heart of this world.
So that's your aim, is it?
You disapprove?
Not at all. I believe it's traditional for the student to follow in the footsteps of the master. And you are so very alike.
Half second she walked normal. Yeah. Just to give you that little bit of hope.
Change. That great inexorable wave was upon us, and soon all of Ishgard would bend to its will. For all our sins, for all our scars, the future for which we had long yearned was at last within our grasp. But it would be bought at a heavy price. For in those twilight hours did Nidhogg cry out for vengeance, and his brethren raise their voices for the final chorus of the Dragon Song War.
Gosh, Anita, that is all I ask. Do not be so eager to place your faith in them. Not until we know more. ahead and do the next one. Keep going till 9 o'clock and see how far we can get. Ah, Master Darkblade, it is well that you are here. You are wanted within. I believe Master Alphino wishes a word with you. Magnarmus, there you are. Have you a moment? There is something I would fain discuss. I must ask you to recall the events which unfolded at the peace conference, though I dare say you would sooner forget them. My mind returns again to the moment when Nidhogg appeared before the crowd, in the guise of Estinian. It was a sight to chill the soul, but one which gave me reason to hope that our friend might not be beyond salvation. When you described his fateful transformation at Azizla, I feared him lost forever. But the mere fact that some semblance of his former self endures must surely count for something. Alas, I've no evidence to support this impression. Thus did I turn to Ishtola and Kryl for a more empirical appraisal. And full glad am I that I did, for it would seem they have some observations of their own to share. The ladies had saved us a table at the Forgotten Night. Shall we go? Yeah, let's go to the bar. Excellent. Let's not keep our honored colleagues waiting. Says
we have kept you waiting over long, I fear.
Not to worry, Alphino. We had some rather fine mulled wine to keep us company. Truth be told, you could have delayed your arrival a few moments more.
Gibrion got the spicing just right this time. His latest batch is not only delicious and warming, but soothing to the humors.
Indeed. But 'twas not to soothe our humours that we gathered here.
Ah, no, quite right. The matter of that poor dragoon.
You have discovered something. A means to save him?
Let us not jump to conclusions, shall we? Assess the facts presented, then make an educated analysis, as you were taught.
Pray, cast your mind back to the moment of Estinian's transformation. Do you recall how you described it to us? You spoke of the sudden pangs which racked his body when he took up both of Nidhogg's eyes, and of how his form was twisted thereafter into a shadowy semblance of the Great Worm.
When he appeared at Falcon's Nest, the worm's eyes were fused to his mail.
Would that only his armor had been corrupted. Snaking forth from the eyes, I descried dark tendrils which entangled his very being. His ether has been all but smothered.
Then he is lost to us forever?
What did I just say about jumping to conclusions? Y'shtola clearly stated all but smothered. As I later discovered, her impression matched my own. Though Nidhogg's presence filled my mind's eye, beneath his seething aura, I sensed the merest hint of something else. And after listening to Y'shtola's observations, I became more certain of my suspicion that the something else I had sensed was, in fact, the trace of a different will, submerged in the sea of Nidhogg's rage.
You mean?
Yes, 'tis like that Estinian spirit yet lingers.
Can we not wrest him from Nidhogg's grasp then? Tear the eyes from the armor?
We know not if that would serve to separate Worm's soul from man's. None have ever attempted such a feat.
Should it offer even the faintest hope of success, then by the gods, I shall be the first to try.
Alphino. By all means, hold fast to your hope, but be mindful of the dangers. Even should you succeed in excising the eyes from the Dragoon's mail, we have no way of knowing if your friend's soul would survive so violent a separation. And that is to say nothing of the possibility that his would-be savior might become Nidhogg's next host.
But what other choice remains to us? Should the opportunity present itself, I will tear those foul orbs from Estinian's armor and trust in the resilience of his soul, even at the risk of mine own.
Ah, I found you at last. A messenger of the Temple Knights came to the manor some few hours past. The Lord Commander humbly requests the company of the Warrior of Light and Master Alphino.
Sir Emmerich would speak with us. Very well, thank you, Anawa.
'Twould seem duty calls. Pray see to yours, and we shall return to ours.
Thank you, Y'shtola, Kryl. Your words have given me hope where there was none. Come then. Sir Emmerich awaits.
All right.
Alphino is allowing his feelings for this Dragoon to cloud his thoughts. I worry he may do something rash. Keep an eye on him, would you?
Oh shit, I'll jump in and do something rash with him.
They think more of their friends' deliverance than their foes' defeat. But will history commend their fealty or condemn their folly?
The conference held at Falcon's Nest was to be a celebration of the reconciliation twixt man and dragon. But the lingering shade of Nidhogg, clad in the flesh of the Azure Dragoon, did mark the occasion by spilling the blood of his own kind. A timely atrocity to remind the children of Ishgard that the Dragonsong War was far from over. And when fear gave way to fury, the call to arms rang out anew. Death to Nidhogg! Death to Nidhogg!
What news has Sir Emmerich to share with us, I wonder? Give me the money. Alright, anyway. Might Sir Emmerich have perceived a word of a Dravanian advance? Or mayhap they have located a that is to say, mayhap Nidhogg has been found. I would hear what the Lord Commander has to say.
My friends, I thank you for coming.
You have had news of Nidhogg?
Alas not. Our scouts range far and wide, but they have as yet found no trace of the Great Worm.
We dispatched an elite unit of dragoons to reconnoiter the churning mists, but even they returned empty-handed.
A pity.
Fear not, Alphino. We shall see the worm again soon enough. His words at Falcon's Nest attest to that. Indeed, he is like to come sooner than we would wish.
I assume Ishgard's defenses are being bolstered as we speak?
With all haste. I mean to call upon every able-bodied warrior at our disposal, from the Knights of the Four Houses to the men and women of the Watch. But I did not summon you to discuss strategy.
What then would you have of us, my lord?
I will speak plain. Now that Nidhogg is possessed of both of his eyes, no mortal force we can muster will repel him. That being the case, we must needs recruit an ally of equal strength.
You speak of Heavensward?
I do. To whom else could we turn?
That he is Nidhogg's equal, I do not deny, nor can I name another. But convincing the reclusive creature to do battle with his own brood brother will be... how shall I put this?
It will be no small undertaking, yes. Estinian's report was most particular about Heavensward's unwillingness to involve himself in the affairs of men. But much has changed since your visit to Somal, and if there is even a chance that the dragon may be swayed, I must plead our case. Whatever price the dragon asks of me, I shall pay it. Such was my oath, to defend the people of Ishgard. Come what may, my friends, the battle with Nidhogg will mark the end of my tenure as the acting head of church and state. Will you help me discharge this final duty?
We will, my lord, though I fear our involvement offers no guarantee of success. Come then, we will depart at your leisure.
Thank you. Both of you. The city is yours, First Commander.
My lord, we shall pray for your swift return.
Off to petition Heavensward for aid. It grieves me to oppose upon you in this matter, but you of all people understand the threat we now face. It is no imposition, Sir Aymeric. To Magnarmus and I, Ishgard is a second home. After the many battles we have fought and the bonds we have forged, the plight of your nation has become our own. If there is aught we can do to aid its salvation, then pray impose on all you must. You are true friends. Shall we speak about our task then? We have no way of knowing when Nidhogg's shade will strike, but we must assume that time is not our ally. Indeed, with that in mind, I have taken the liberty of dispatching a messenger to inform Mistress Tataru that you will be escorting me to Salmal. I confess I did not provide exact details of our destination, as they are as of yet unknown to me. We will summon Heavensward at Zenith and the Churning Mist. Ere we begin to our ascent, however, I think it best we pay a visit to Annex Shrine. You seek an advantage in the coming negotiations? I do. I would consult Vidofnir. I propose this in part out of concern for her condition. Were she to succumb to her wounds, could have grave consequences for our alliance. That apart, she may be able to provide insight into her sire's current state of mind. Well reasoned. To the Dravanian forelands, then. Straight to our next shrine, alright. Ah, 'tis the warrior of darkness and his companions. What bringeth you to mine abode? Pray forgive us for disturbing your recuperation, Vidofnir. I hope your wound does not pain you overmuch. Didst thou imagine me close to death? The thrust was deep, but not mortal. I will heal in time. Full glad am I to hear it. You were the guest of honor at our conference, and we failed in our duty of protection. On behalf of Ishgard, I apologize unreservedly. I am a dragon full grown, and though thou thought to protect me, mortal, I was tempered by the fires of battle ere thy grandsire learned to crawl. Thy words do remind me of a knight whom I called friend some 1,000 years past. He swore to defend me from harm and hardship. Would that we could return to that era of peace when man and dragon knew such comradeship. Would that our every effort to do so were not undone by ancient rancor. For a truth, there can be no peace while Nidhogg's shade yet lingereth. That much is plain, yet we lack the strength to banish him. Thus do we make for Salmael to beseech aid of your sire once more. Folly, thou knowest as well as I how he will answer. Hraesvelgr's heart remains unchanged then, a pity. But if it is folly to hope, I am content to die a fool. As hath ever been the way of thy kind. Go then, but be warned. Shade's presence hath driven its minions into frenzy. Thank you, Vidofnir. We shall disturb your rest no longer. Food. Alright. Though I expected no better answer from Vidofnir, I take little pleasure from having been proven right. It would seem that our presence at Zenith will be every bit as unwelcome as I had anticipated. But what is the ire of one great worm to a trio of self-confessed fools such as ourselves? Let us begin our ascent. After you, Master Alpino. Scout ahead if you wish, Magnarmus. We shall join you outside Mogholm. I had hoped not to go back to Mogholm ever again, but here we are. I heard the tales of the world above the clouds, but never did I dream. One's mind paints a pale picture of its majesty. You live yet to see such wonders. I am reminded of my first visit to this peak, when Estinian and Isal walked at our side. Is that you, Magnarmus? Ah, if it isn't don't tell me you've forgotten my name, Kupo, after all we've been through together. At least you remember me. You do remember me, don't you, Magnarmus? I think you're Moghan. You seemed a bit hesitant for a moment there, but I'm sure you just finally recalling the time we camped near Zenith, right, Kupo? But putting our shared history to one side, what brings you and your friends to Mogholm, Kupo? Ah, another audience with old Freysfugger. Well, I hope you've brought the horn, Kupo. With the winds as gentle as they are, a good loud toot should reach the Great Worm's ears easily enough. That is good to hear, Moghan. Thank you. We had best press on to Zenith, while the winds are in our favor. Now that was unexpected, Kupo. Captain Moglin will want to hear about this. Oh, well, at least that was short. Teleporting over there. Got a shortcut to the top now. Found a different Dragoon. Anyway. You dare summon me again, mortals?
Great Hraesvelgr, 'tis not lightly that we beg this audience. Pray hearken to our words, for they concern the future of man and dragon both.
Greetings, Hraesvelgr. I am Emeric de Burrell, acting ruler of the nation of Ishgard. I am come before you to parley on behalf of my people.
To parley? Thou thinkest thy purpose unclear to me. Thou art come to beg mine aid in the battle against the shade of my brood brother.
You foresaw mine intent.
I read that, but that which is writ plain in thine eyes. Would that thou had writ enough to scry the answer in mine. My beloved Shiva did once build a bridge twixt man and dragon, a bridge which thy treacherous forefathers saw fit to tear down, as thou well knowest. Thinkest thou Nidhogg was alone in despairing at the murder of our brood sister? Thinkest thou mine own soul did not cry out for vengeance? Know then that upon that accursed day my heart did wither in my breast, and thy kind become unto me in the harbingers of despair. 'Tis only Shiva's gentle dream that preventeth me from flying at Nidhogg's shoulder. Be grateful that I swore to abjure aggression ere I consumed her. I permit my children to offer or deny thee aid as they see fit. To warn thy people of my brood brother's coming, that thou wouldst dare ask more of me, but affirmeth thine incurable arrogance.
We understand that in your despair at man's betrayal, you seek only the refuge of solitude. But despite your protestations of spent faith, do you not still nurture the smallest flame of hope?
Perceivest thou such light in the dusk of mine existence?
I do. If you claim I see falsely, then tell me, why did you consent to bear Azel upon your back?
Azel, piteous, deluded Azel. The child did lament her past sins and sought to balance the scales with her remaining days. 'Twas her unquenchable passion, so alike that of my beloved, which did spur me into flight. And for mine own part, I would countenance no longer the hands of evil men to use my brood brother's eye for ill.
So you do distinguish between those who acknowledge and repent their sins and those who perpetuate them. Interesting. It seems to me that you have not, in fact, lost faith in mankind as a whole. Rather, you weigh our respective merits by how we allow the past to influence our future.
Spare me thine idle sophistry. Even were there a mote of truth in thy reasoning, what of it? Wouldst thou have me slay mine own sibling to save a city of mortals?
Should we suffer ties of blood to bind our hands, then? Nay, if the crime is one of unconscionable evil, we must needs condemn it, even should the transgressor be our closest kin. When my father corrupted himself and his followers with the power of a primal, I beseeched the warrior of light to slay him, an act alike to patricide. That he did not die by my hand matters little. If anything, it heaps greater disgrace upon my name. But had my father not fallen, he would have drawn countless thousands into a holy war of hellish proportions, which I hold the greater crime. Thus did I order his execution, sparing the lives of my people and yours. Alas, your brother Worm now prepares to murder those whom I sought to spare. What is more, he has taken my comrade's body for his own. But if I must slay my dearest friend to defeat my direst foe, I will not flinch from my duty.
Thou wouldst strike down thy friend, and by example of thy righteousness, persuade me to break mine oath and kill my kindred. Heed me, my child. The servants of Hydaelyn envision a different outcome. They intend salvation not only for Ishgard, but for the doomed Dragon Slayer as well. Believest thou this shade to be Nidhogg returned? It is not merely a manifestation of his vengeance. The shadow cast by thy brood brother's rage, I would not command thee, but ponder well thy course, lest it lead thee unto greater remorse. While the shade of vengeance remains, the future will ever be uncertain. Nidhogg's transformation into Rage Incarnate is, in part, of mine own doing. I rendered unto him mine eye, and empowered his revenge thereby, but 'tis in the purity of my brood brother's wrath that lendeth him his all-surpassing might. Hast thou the strength of will to stand against so terrible a shadow, I wonder? Would seem I must put thee and thy companions to the proof. I shall await thee in the ruins where Ratatoskr once dwelled. Heed well the words of my children, and hasten thee to the place of thy trial. I believe I spied a wyvern landing just outside the place. It is doubtless one of the children of whom Hraesvelgr spoke. Come, my friends, let us not keep our escort waiting. My broodmates and I will bear you to the place of your trial. Make your preparations. Alright, let's see if we can get into the dungeon. Do that? See if I can go get armor real quick. I need chest piece. Go, more power. Gotta replace the helmet. Back to Zenith. Right back here. And now we wait. Is Rin. Come on, healer. Healer, healer. There we go. It's dungeon time.
My lord, we have received our orders. We are to pull the dungeon. Pull the dungeon.
Pull the dungeon?
Pull the dungeon. Pull the dungeon.
Go. Take that. Into these. I'll do this. And we're at the first boss. Take this, you little shit. Thought we killed them all. on up here, guys. Let's go. Second boss is going down. Here and over here. Alright, almost dead. And dead. Let's go. Thou hast weaponed my trial thus far, but I am not convinced. I will try thy limit. Okay. Ice bridge. No, these are race fuggers. He's testing us. If we beat him, he'll help us fight Nidhogg. Not kill, just defeat, you know. reprisal. Thank you, Phoenix. The samurai says hello, YouTube. Anyway. Didn't flip off the map. Call that a win. Another reprisal is up. So we're just gonna reprisal that. We're done. And we're out. All right, what do we got? Even bereft of an eye, my brood brother was a fearsome foe indeed. But having tasted thy strength firsthand, I do begin to see how thou didst bring him low. Eidolon chooseth her servants well. Very well, I shall trust in the seed of man one last time. By thy deed shall the flickering hope that lingereth yet between my heart be kindled anew, or extinguished forever. Yeah, no pressure. That you yet stand is ready proof of your determination, mortals. Let us fight as allies then, and together banish my brood brother's vengeful shade. On my oath, the wrath that once was Nidhogg shall meet its end. This I swear on the memory of my beloved Shiva, and on the soul of lost Isal. Oh, my poor ribs, that was a painful reminder of a great worm's might. And had he truly meant us harm, we would not be standing here now. Plainly, his intent was to teach. His onslaught forced me to recall my training about the speed of the dragon, his balance, his blind spots. It was, in short, a very thorough lesson. Ow, Kupo. Magnarmus, let me begin by congratulating you on completing your trial. For one with a name more befitting a jester, you fight with the savagery of a rabid demon. You seen how my wings are kinked? Even my palm aches. After this drubbing, I fear my loyal subjects will have to bear the load of my personal chores for quite some time, Kupo, possibly indefinitely. What? When I told you about Magnarmus' trial, I didn't mean for the rest of us to suffer. That is triple shifts for you, Moghan. Triple? But that's not fair. There's no justice, Kupo. None at all. That was the Moogles.
Our negotiations proved rather more strenuous than I had anticipated, but the results seem well worth the effort.
The battle was indeed hard won. Thank you, my friends. I would never have earned Hraesvelga's cooperation had you not seen fit to grant me yours. 'Twas your stalwart heroism that moved the heart of the Great Worm at the last. Any gratitude I can offer is but poor reward for your continued service to Ishgard.
Twould seem our final reckoning with the dread worm is at hand. I only wish we had some inkling as to when he means to strike.
How about now?
Oh, gods.
The cry heraldeth his coming. Nidhogg's shade hath taken wing.
It has begun. We must away to Ishgard.
We did receive. Alright. Because there's a whole bunch of cutscenes after I do the next part, I think it's a good time to cut it here, and we will begin with this on Tuesday. Yep. Right before the big giant... The game is fun. Yeah, we were just wrapping up stream. I'm starting at 6 p.m. on Tuesday with the, Oh, okay, yeah. Thank you for joining. The samurai that I relayed the message of hi YouTube for you. Yes. That's the one. But yes, I have a pot pie finishing in the oven soon, and yep. Feel free to subscribe. I will be doing the trial on Tuesday. So if you want to join for that, be here Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern. Currently 8:47 Eastern right now. enough that you're in a different time zone. So anyway, I'll catch you later. Peace.